YouTube, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. So it is Saturday by the time I've edited and uploaded this video. So hopefully we can manage to update or add some content for this week. So anyways, after the LUNALIGHT deck, I've been meaning to test out another variant for the LUNALIGHT. For now, we are going to test out TRI-BRIGADEs. Now TRI-BRIGADEs is another form of Beast Warrior deck that revolves with Link summoning. So with the LUNALIGHTs, which is also Beast Warriors, they can easily be good fodders for some other TRI-BRIGADE cards as well, which of course, if you banish those cards from the LUNALIGHT cards and you got a copy of Revolt, basically you just summon those 4 on the field and then go directly into a copy of TRI. Now, you can run a second copy of this though. Setting up a copy of Revolt is another way to end the game right there. Majority of the time, your opponent doesn't have Kaijus in a best of 1 format. Kaijus are typically not the go-to cards at the moment, so LUNALIGHT is a perfect good deck to actually play within the format of Master Duel. If ever your opponent drops a copy of Maxi, typically just summon a copy of Liger to the field. If they have an out to it, then you lose. If not, majority of the time, you'll win. They can't really out a 3-800 body that is unaffected by card effects. If ever they manage to bypass the attack of more than 3-800, then typically you just have to send one LUNALIGHT extra deck monster to the graveyard and then Regeki your opponent's field, that's the way to go. I'm going to showcase you guys some of the games. They are going to be quick, of course, because it's basically some of them are going first or going second. You can run a 40 card deck list for this. I do want to say that if you want to run a 40 card deck list, I would choose to go with Kit on 1 and then Nerval on 1 and then add a copy of Revolt or a second copy of Revolt for your deck. Now, the reason for this Revolt is because this going first is a pretty good card. Plus, you just summon your Beast Warrior monster to the field and summon Shureg, which is an easy way to actually do this deck as well. Now, if you manage to summon a copy of Fractal, which is typically the same thing, or if you have a special summon Shureg in the field, and if you special summon a Beast Warrior in the field, you still trigger its effect, which of course banish 1 card in the field. This is a non-target banish, by the way, guys, so it is amazing to any cards on the field. So that's basically it. I'm just gonna undo what I did. But yeah, the 41 card deck list is the one that I'm running. But if you want to run a 40 card deck list, you can check that one out. But so on and so forth. We have a new deck that's amazing, and of course with the partner of TRI-BRIGADEs, it is unstoppable. Well, not typically unstoppable, but it is pretty solid when it comes to gameplay. So with this, let's move on to the replays, boys and girls. Alright guys, so here we are with our first replay. We have a copy of Nerval, Silver Hound, 1 Chick, 1 Gold Leo, and of course the Masquerade. Now, we're going first. We're typically just going to do the same combo that we did on our previous video. So let's start off. Going for Leo here. Now, I'm just saving the Masquerade just in case we get negated. So go for Marlin activate, or Martin activate. Getting diffusion, so we know that we don't have any interruptions. Go for Masquerades, pitching in the Silver Hound for Chick. Chick sends a copy of Tiger, and then we'll fetch that one with the Gold Leo. Use the effect of Martin here, bounce back the Chick, spell summon to the field, and going for the Fire King, Tiger King. Oh, Fire King, Fire Fist, I mean. Getting a copy of Tenki. Tenki activates, getting our Black Sheep pitch. For a copy of Polymerization, so we have the LUNALIGHT Fusion and the Polarization on our side here. So go for Tiger, spell summon the Black Sheep. Go for the Fusion summon because Chick and the Black Sheep have graveyard effects if you use them as materials for a Polarization. So Perfume activate first, getting the Light Perfume, and then Collide the Chick, and lastly a copy of Sheep, adding 1 monster from the graveyard back to our hand. So there you go. Now, if you have a copy of if you have a copy of the TRI-BRIGADE and you send them to the graveyard, they're still going to do the same effect. Then they're just going to summon a Shureg to the field. So it's still pretty good though. So with this, get Polymerization back from the Chick, and then the Perfume for the Light Perfume. We use the effect of Light Perfume, spell summon the Chick back to the field. Go for Polymerization next into our first boss monster, the Liger Dancer. So we have 1 Towers in the field. Going for a copy of Masquerade, getting a copy of Polymerization, sending a copy of Nerval, and with that, Keras is going to be on our field here. Now, Keras needs a monster to discard. We could have gone here with a TRI-BRIGADE monster, but sadly, or we could have gone the Revolt, but sadly we got Nibiru. So we can't actually do anything here. So with that, our guys are gonna summon a token, and then we still continue on with the combo since we still have a lot of gas from the light perfume. So Kaleido send that, and then perfume get a copy of the wolf, which of course he will negate with the Dominus Purge. But don't worry, we have a copy of Silver Hound for the negation, or for the interruption, I mean. And we get a copy of Wolf here. Use the effect of Wolf, and then summoning our second copy of the Liger Dancer. There you go. So that's it. That's basically it. 2 towers in the field with 3800 that can attack twice in a single turn. Our guys are gonna go first with Primate Lordly Load, going for the Dragon. Barrel's gonna activate, getting a copy of Drill Beam. Now at this point, we just need to like pop everything else. I did not know that this has protection for Primate cards. Did not know that. So he's gonna attack my chick here, which I don't really matter, or it doesn't really matter. And he's going for Blue Eyes next into a copy of Spears, which of course we can just use our second copy of Liger for the pop. So that's it. That's basically it. When our turn, draw into a copy of Nerval. Doesn't really matter. We'll try to use it, but of course Drill Beam will take effect, banishing it. I never thought that he has a vanilla on hand. But anyways, go for Nerval next, just for an easy link summon, because I really want to summon Shrek to the field. And that's it. That's basically it. So go for an attack, and that's the end of our replay. Easy as it is, of course, if you manage to set up the board with the towers, then it's easy. So with that, let's move on with our second game. Second replay, we have here 2 gold Leos, 1 Tiger, 1 Tanky, and a copy of Culver Brigade, the one of for this season. So we're going up against Plunder and Centurions, a really weird matchup, but it works for them, so why not? So let's continue. Our guys are gonna go first, going for stand-up Centurion, pitching in the Redbeard, getting a copy of Chudrea. Chudrea activates, getting a copy of Primera. Primera summons to the field, getting into a copy of Gargoyle here. Gargoyle summons. I don't really know why he did that though, but okay, sure. Gargoyle in the field, go for Axilla. And Axilla fetches, I think he's gonna fetch here, the trap card here. And Gargoyle is gonna chain, adding it back to his hand. So with that, yep, he's gonna get the trap card, the Phalanx, that banishes a card. Special summon, going for the Bonds. Getting Primera, setting 2 back rows, and then end phase, getting a copy of Chudea. So, yeah. That is his end board. Honestly, this is a bit dangerous. If you're going up against Centurions and you're going into like your boss monster, the only way to out the towers is just basically ramming a higher attacking monster to it. So yeah, it's very scary in a point. So anyways, we drew into a copy of Chick here, which is not too bad. Now we're gonna go first with Leo first, trying to bait out an interruption. We managed to bait out an Imperm here, which is pretty good. But at this point, we can go for Tanky next, getting a copy of Sheep, because that's our only play right there. Luckily, this guy doesn't like continue on with a combo or whatever, or starts off with a Primera and combo. Going for Polymerization next. Going for Perfume. Now, at this point, he should have summoned Cosmic Dragon or whatever just for the negate, but it's up to him, honestly. Going for Polarization from the Chick, and Dancer getting Light Perfume. Light Perfume is gonna go summon the Chick, sending a copy of Leo Dancer for the Liger Dancer next from the Polymerization. To summon that to the field. Now I really forgot about this, that this has protection for any monster level 5 or higher, which is amazing. And I think this has protection for monsters in the back row as well, so it's crazy. So yep, trying to banish my Liger Dancer for some reason. Trying to pop a card, which doesn't really work because it has protection. That's the best thing about Centurions. You go for Light Perfume, getting a copy of LUNALIGHT Wolf. And then we fuse again. Going for a second copy of our Liger Dancer. So yeah, that's the only way to do this actual build, to be honest. Liger Dancer, and go for Galactic Chick. He will then spell summon the monster, going into a copy of Legatia. So Legatia trying to pop, doesn't really matter, but he manages to draw one card, doesn't really matter still. I think the only downside that he did here is just remove the back row, which of course, yes, another protection from the Primera. Nevertheless, we managed to like pop those cards and going for an attack. So that's it, still the same thing. As long as those two cards are on the field, you can still like manage to like wipe out the entire field going for an OTK. So that's the best thing about this deck right here. Once you summon those two towers on the field, it's game over. So that's our game number 2. I know it's kind of boring, but yeah, that's game number 2. Let's move on with our last game, which is kind of interesting. All right, so let's go. All right, so our last game, boys and girls, our guys going first, and we're going up against Golden Sarcophagus here. So we have TRI-BRIGADE, Kiras, 1 LUNALIGHT Fusion, 1 Tenki, 1 Masquerade, and a copy of Revolt, which is amazing that we drew into this on our first draw. But sad to say, we're going second. So we can manage. Our guy's gonna go first. Forgot about these cards. Future Silence. Going for Trio. Getting the Sarcophagus here. Sark into Bonds. I think he's gonna go for Bonds. Ties that bind, sorry. Ties that bond. Spell summon the Dark Magician Girl, or the new Dark Magician Girl support, or Gold Sark support, sorry. Then Ties that bind, spell summon the Silent Magician 0, and then Silent Swordsman 0. I forgot this card effect. So declares attack, place 1 spell counter this card, blah blah blah. If this wicked monster would be destroyed by battle, remove 1 spell counter. So that's it. So we have 1 spell negate, 1 targeted negation, and then if a monster is spell summoned to the field, you can just banish 1 card to remove the monster. So nevertheless, we have a perfect or a really good hand here, to be honest. And as long as I don't draw a card, their levels doesn't do anything. So we go into Gold Leo here from the Tenki, pitch in the Get Martin, pitch Martin for another Masquerade just to like see if there's any interruptions, but none so far. Going Masquerade for the Silver Hound, pitch in the Chick, and Leo get a copy of Tiger from the Chick. Use the effect of Tiger here. Our guys is gonna negate that with a 0, or Magician 0. There you go, and then are going for Martins. Our guy's gonna banish those cards, which of course I'm not really worried. Now we can go into a copy of Fractal. Fractal go for Kit for Nerval, and Nerval a copy of Kiras. Now, but since we have a copy of Kiras, we can go back to Fractal just because we just need to, dump a card. And then going for Shirag next for the Link Summon. Luckily, we did not attack. So there we go, and then going for LUNALIGHT Fusion for Perfumer Dancer. Getting a Light Perfume. And we still continue on with the combo at this point on. So it's amazing that we can actually do this. So Chick, sending a copy of Leo Dancer. Add Perfume, sending 1 card for a copy of Wolf. And then we summon our boss monster right there. And once we summon our boss monster right there, you know what happens. We send 1 monster from the extra deck, and then wipe the field. And that's it. There you go. Attack. It doesn't really matter what happens here, but, just continue on attacking. And then lastly for Shirag. So, yeah, I think this is the most interesting game that so far. I have a lot of games as well that were a bit interesting with regards to this, but it was just a couple of turns, not like this. So anyways, yeah, that is basically TRI-BRIGADE and LUNALIGHT. What are your thoughts on the deck? So far, I do think that running 1 copies of Kit and 1 copies of Nerval would be the best choice here. The Kiras and the Fractal are pretty good on 3 copies or so. 3 to 2 copies or so. Yeah, 2 copies of Revolt might be the best way to actually play this deck on a 40 card deck list as well. So yeah, amazing as it is, that is LUNALIGHT and TRI-BRIGADEs. Stay tuned. We'll tackle another deck with the LUNALIGHTs. Hopefully, we can upload this one today or by tomorrow. But anyways, guys, that's it for today. Keep safe and good luck. If you like this kind of content, like and subscribe. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.